I forgot to start recording. We are now recording officially for YouTube. So hello YouTube when this hits.
Oh, okay.
I've got Q in here.
So,
We're doing a ranking. To catch you up, we literally just went over our old rankings and basically agreed that these haven't changed. Acquired Space Agency and Metal Rich are kind of interchangeable. We're reviewing the two cards now, and what could you say your comments again on Experimental Forest versus ASA? Because we're kind of debating on these two for number two.
at first, as a reminder to ASA and Metal Rich Asteroid, we said that ASA has more highlight potential with finding TG with certain systems or something like this, or when you're forward log and you're in need of space techs. But Metal Rich Asteroid is more flexible because having early steal is just amazing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough to compare those two, but yet what do I do? We stay with the list we have so far.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the double card draw, we are debating if Experimental Forest is better than ASA, and I think so because the Gardener milestone is just so powerful, and also having a tile on the ground helps.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe there are some things like you have mining area and you need a tile down, or you have NRA, you need more plan text that you might want to play.
Mm-hmm.
It already has a plan tag. And ASA doesn't have a tag, so Experimental Forest has some things, some advantages you might overlook.
Yeah, I mean ASA does have the space tag, which is considerably less good
No,
than the plant
ASA
tag.
has no tag.
I think it has a space, right?
No.
Oh, I'm wrong. You're right.
Get your facts straight.
Gotta fact check me. Yeah, I think I'm okay to move Experimental Forest above.
Yeah. I mean, you could also put it in the same line. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're very
ASA
close. They're very close.
is 18 cash. Don't. If you want to go like IO, you have IO in hand, and you see ASA, well, cool.
Right.
That's basically a donation with 2 cards.
Yeah, it's very good if you have an early playable an income Jovian like Asteroid Mining or IO. Let's look at this category now because I definitely disagree with some of the decisions we made here.
Yes, me too. At a 2 TR thing, I would probably. I mean, I know why
I'm gonna
we
go ahead
made
and
this
move this
decision.
one up to number one. I think that's overall the best prelude in the game. I would say.
It's tough. It's tough.
Aquifer is like incredible if you're going first and you can guarantee that
Yeah.
you're gonna get 2 cards and like 2 titanium or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
If you compare hard facts, you're comparing 1 card and 1 TR and an Earth tech to 1 TR and an Earth tech, and compared to 1 more card and 2 titanium.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, I think
it's
this.
just so I don't know. It's so good. The Earth tag has some utility. With like
Yeah,
with Miranda, with what's it called,
yeah,
Cartel.
yeah.
Um,
I think Unum Eye Contractor on third was a mistake back then.
yes, definitely a mistake. This is a great, very good prelude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's defeating Smelting Plant. I think pretty
I think so
easily.
too.
I think you also shouldn't undervalue this 1 card you're drawing. And if you're something like Point Luna, which is obviously hilarious, then you're already getting 2 cards.
Yeah,
You might just.
Roy says Research Network is better. I mean, we're sort of comparing within category here,
Nah.
and I think Research Network is very good, but
Yeah.
in the base
It's a different
game,
prelude.
the 3TR helps a lot. But
Sorry for
that's okay.
coronavirus.
Let's talk about this. I don't really have an opinion on. I agree with this. I don't think there needs to be any change to the cities.
I think that the reason is that self-sufficient settlement is more flexible with its cash production. And
Yes, exactly.
I mean, 1 plant production is something we're never too excited about. It like, whoa, 1 plant production that totally changes everything.
Yeah. What else we got? Plant production. There is a lot here. So we have an asterisk next to ecology experts, which says High roll potential, often useless, which is true. It is often useless.
Yeah.
I
I
gotta
actually,
say, I really, the more I've
yeah,
played Preludes, the more I dislike these plant prod Preludes, with the exception, of course, like
yeah,
eco experts into kelp or something
yeah,
insane.
yeah. I mean, the only thing is that dome farming has building tech, which so you can copy it with robotic workforce.
Yeah, I'm amazed we put this one low. I think I would put this one probably below Biolab, and maybe even a no, probably below Biolab and above early settlement. What do you think?
Uh, I mean, early settlement is so situational.
Exactly. It's like,
I mean, you need to be either Tarsus or Ecoline.
yeah,
But even as Tarsus, you would say, I'd rather see self-sufficient settlement than early settlement. So
I've been pretty excited to copy dome farming with robotic workforce, and
yeah,
it's just more flexible because of the cash prod.
I, I agree.
Yeah.
We can agree. I mean, I'm not sure about biofuels and biosphere support, but I think it can stay this because biosphere support has at least the plant tech.
Yeah, Biosphere. I feel like I'm only ever picking if I'm Ecoline, or I can just get a ton of early plant prod and go all in. But
Yeah,
yeah, I just
I
really don't
think
like it.
also biofuels makes only sense if you're ecoline and you have like cupola city where you need one energy
Yeah,
or electrocat or something.
and then we've got our like meme tier. Maybe nitrogen shipment's actually better than biofuels. I mean, I know it doesn't have a tag.
Nah. I think the energy production has its value at 24.
You're trading 5 cat. Well, yeah, I guess the plant tag swings it. Maybe early settlement is worth
Also,
in both. Mm,
also took more plants on biofuels, which matter when you're ecoline.
yeah. Let's look at. Okay, Control A does not work in this text box. Biofuels. Yeah. Highlander says early
It's
settlement worse than biosphere.
nah.
I
I
don't. I
mean,
disagree because of
yeah,
tile placement. Tile placement's just like gives you a lot of flexibility, right? You can pick up a card. You can set up a mining area. You
yeah,
can claim an
yeah.
area on the board.
Yeah, I mean, as Ecoline claiming the left spot at start is pretty good because of the two blind spots where you can
Yep.
convert.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Ocean.
mean,
You want to move on to
referring to
oceans?
Highlander, we know that both preludes don't have a Jovian tag, so they're worthless anyway. So I think with
Uh,
oceans, this
no,
is
no.
pretty obvious.
Yeah, this is obvious. Great Aquifer is just very good. There's 3 above average spots on Tharsis map, and power is generally a lot better than heat, even though you take the -2 cash.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you could agree that there are situations where aquifer turbines is better than grid aquifer when you need the
yeah,
energy and
yeah,
you're fine with.
I would agree with that. I like Aquifer turbines quite a bit. I think it's actually
Yeah,
I'm very excited by this prelude early because
yeah, yeah.
you usually can take the 2 cards and then you have power. It's great.
Yeah. Maybe should you put it above grid?
Um, yeah, it might be because yeah, I'll move it up. I'll move it up.
Yeah,
I mean, Aquifer's great. Like getting the titanium from this, like titanium in cards, is
yeah, but
great. But
the second ocean is mostly not too changing too much.
yeah, I think power's just too good here. Aquifer's really good if you're playing like Eco Line and you could instead like carve out the middle
Yeah.
and just start ocean walking early. But
But it's really hard as ecoline to resist to the double card spot.
that's true.
You're comparing, oops, sorry, you're comparing uh, 2 cards to 2 plants. I mean, 1 card, 1 plant.
Yeah.
Ah, ah. And I think with feet, I'm still, yeah, I still like what we did there.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
because The huge asteroid has its purpose in speeding up the game when you're ecoline or something like this, and you are like, yeah, I want to pressure the heat, and therefore you get not only free heat pumps but also one heat production. So I think, yeah, that's why I prefer it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like doing it your way, Filter. I mean, it sucks to miss on the cards, but ocean walking
Yeah,
is so good.
yeah, I get a point.
All right, heat preludes. Do we have any major disagreements here? I don't think we really count society support. I think this is just like we could just
I mean,
the game would
oh
be better
God,
without society support in it. We'll just
yeah,
get rid of it.
yeah. I mean, if
Um,
it didn't have the -1 on it, then maybe.
so yeah, comparing the moholes, I think excavation is pretty clearly better here, and
Yeah,
a good target,
yeah.
a great target for robotic workforce.
I mean,
Um,
basically, you're comparing one steel production to one heat production.
yeah. So mole excavation versus polar industries, I do think that is an interesting comparison. I just think that because the oceans are so good on Tharsis, that you usually want the two cards more than the steel prod.
Basically, comparing one cash production to placing an ocean.
Yeah,
But this one cash production, 10 cash, two cards, 10 cash over the game. I think the cards still win this.
yeah. So you want to do new stuff? What haven't we covered?
Yeah,
I made a
production
I
and
made a
power.
production category.
Yeah, and power, obviously.
Okay,
Should we start with power because production is
sure.
okay? Let me see. Okay, we can't go by power tech because we have biofuels as well and Martian industries.
Uh, Filter, you don't. Sorry, we got a comment here. You like Mohole over Mohole excavation? To me, Mohole excavation is pretty clearly better.
Yeah, for me,
Okay.
for me too, because
I think Mohole is
I
such a
think
weak prelude.
yes, I agree.
But yeah, these are both below average, I would say.
Yeah,
All right, you want to do power?
yes. Okay, so we need. Let me get a list. Turbines, biofuels, Martian industries, society support, power generation, supplier.
Yeah, so we've
Yeah,
got aquifer
one,
turbines, power
three,
generation,
six.
supplier. Are we calling Martian Industries one?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would.
And biofuels, I guess we have to put in there.
Yeah, yeah.
What else are we? What else we got?
Society support and biofuels
Society
later. Yeah.
support. Look at these two at the bottom where they should be. How would I rank these? We're sort of assuming Tharsis map Prelude as the only expansion, by the way, for
Hmm.
just the ease of
Yeah.
discussion here. Um,
I'm pretty sure I have my ranking here.
my ranking might actually be the ranking that I have listed here.
I would change something.
Um,
Come on, Hodge, you know what I want to change. Focus.
is it maybe you like Martian Industries more than like Supplier, or that you flip these two? I guess I can walk you through why this is my order. We've already discussed this. Getting the two cards I think is really good. Um, these could be interchangeable. I do think one energy is generally better than four steel, especially because oxygen bumpers are so insanely strong in this meta.
Okay.
And then yeah, I don't know. Martian Industries is like kind of underwhelming to me. I mean, it's nice to have some extra cash, but I don't
Okay,
know.
so
What
I should get started now.
come again?
Okay, I would rank supplier higher than power generation because in if you don't have a bumper in the opening, then in many cases when you have a power hungry hand, it's something like okay, I have building industries, I have fuel factory, I have maybe cupola or something like this,
Mm-hmm.
and or electrocatapult. There are a lot of cards that cost this 1 energy. Or maybe you have 2 cards that cost 1 energy.
Mm-hmm.
And you're often like, okay, power generation is giving me free energy, but I don't need all free energy right now. While Supplier is giving you 8 cash, and these 8 cash are often cash you can spend for the cards that need energy. So
Yeah.
I think this synergy in Supplier is really amazing because you get energy and you get steel to pay for the energy hungry cards. I
Uh,
wouldn't rank Supplier higher if not most energy eating cards would have the steel tag, building tag.
yeah. I was gonna say we could look at some cards like you've got a good point about steel. Like most of these cards are good to play early. We can kind of count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Yeah,
heat
cards like
trappers,
cards.
titanium mine peroxide power, and of course electrocat and what's it called, space elevator.
Yeah, or also something like carbonate processing or GHG factories. They might become a thing when you start with this easy energy and easy steel production at start.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a good argument. I'm not necessarily convinced.
I just
You might be right that Supplier is a little bit more flexible because power generation is definitely better if you have a bumper. But if you don't have a bumper,
yeah.
then I probably agree that Supplier is better.
Even if we have a bumper, we need this form of energy. And often we have something like geothermal or nuke power or peroxide or
Yeah.
artificial that gives us 2 energy anyways. So I think power generation is only better if we have free energy, if we have a bumper and up to 1 energy in hand.
Yeah. I think we can just leave this as these two are like very close and serve a similar purpose and are probably a tier above industries, which is probably a tier
Yeah,
above these trash ones. And then
yeah, yeah.
turbines is just great for because the oceans are so good. Okay, I
I
think I'm
think
happy with this.
Martian Industries is a clear 4th place with a gap to third and to 5th.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious to me. Okay.
Production
Um,
time?
one no no
Are
no
we missing another category?
no. I'm not done with the power category yet.
You're not done with the power
I know
category? Okay.
it must be horrible. I'm a teacher, so I just want to say the teacher closes the topic. No, is it a
By all
saying in
means.
US too? You have in Germany, it's a very popular saying that you say, "Teacher finishes the class."
News to me.
Do you have this too?
But you're the teacher here. You may
No, no.
conclude.
Is this a saying in the US?
No, I'm not familiar with that saying.
Okay, the meaning of it is, well, 30 people sitting in a room and the lesson is boring. Everybody wants to go home. People don't pay attention, and then finally, ding, 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 and everybody's like, "Okay, we're going home." And then the teacher says, "No." The teacher finishes the lesson, which means the ring doesn't finish the lesson. You have to sit there and wait for the teacher to say, "Okay, let's go home." And the typical old school statistic teacher says, after ding ding ding, people want to leave. Teacher says, "No." Teacher finishes the lesson. Then everybody gets back to their seat. Then she says, "Okay, you can go." Everybody, okay, thank you.
I think Filter's comment is on here. In the U.S., we leave class when we want.
Yeah, that's probably why the US are famous
Mm-hmm.
for its efficient education system.
Of course.
Shots fired.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Sorry.
not even gonna dispute. Okay. Do you want to have
Okay,
your
what I
closing
actually
thought
wanted
then?
to say, yeah, I think Martian Industries is generally overlooked. I think it's better than we used to think about it. It gives a steel production, which is always nice. It's 2 cash production. It gives an energy, which is quite flexible because you're often in a situation where you need 1 energy. So, I already have it.
Yeah.
And if you compare it to, let's say, donation, and you have to SP energy once, then Martian Industries is giving 17 cash compared to 21 cash and a steel production. So converting 4 cash into a steel production is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So I think these 6 cash which you get by Martian Industries are actually kind of nice because it's already almost 1/3 of the donation.
Yeah.
And they often make a difference if you get to play a card first or second generation.
No, I agree. It can be very satisfying to play this into either Building Industries, Fuel Factory, or Electrocat. You just feel great
Mhm.
about your life.
Mhm. Yeah.
But again, I think it's still a little bit outclassed by what we've discussed in the other ones. But
Yeah, but compared to biofuels, it's like so much
well,
better.
yeah, we've already sort of covered these in other categories.
And
These are just sort of
compared to stuff
preludes.
like dome farming, I
Yeah,
mean, even then I would always take.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is it time to? So, what other categories have we not covered? I mean, there's the obvious production category, which is coming. I think.
Closing thought, I think Martian Industries is so flexible because you never say, steel production, I don't need that. Energy, I don't want it. And fixed cash. I think it's always something that you say, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Supplier into strip mine. Yeah, that's absurd. Yeah, Q, I'm looking at this list here. I think we really only have one more category left, which is production. And
This is a huge
it's gonna be
category.
a big one. We're gonna be talking about it for a minute.
Yeah.
So let me just drop them in here. We've got Allied Banks, Business Empire,
Yeah.
Galilean Mining.
Yeah.
I mean, IO Research Outposts, kind of.
Yeah. What about huge asteroid?
This is where it gets complicated. Yeah.
I think it's free production.
Sure, we can put huge asteroid in there. It is 3 production.
I mean, IO Research Outpost is also free production, so.
Mining operations.
Metals Company.
Yeah, metals is on there. Orbital construction yard for sure. I think that covers it. Anything that produces 3 or more.
UDMI contractor.
Yeah. This is gonna be a tough list to rank.
Do you know what's funny? Do we have smelting plant is only in one? Where did you consider at TR preludes?
Yeah, we put smelting up here in TR.
Because I think there are some preludes that are kind of doing a little bit of everything, but often fall out of the category. Something like smelting plant.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of the problem with the categorical approach, is because some kind of fit. But I think. Do you want to put smelting in here just to make the conversation more difficult? We can.
No. Two production is not a production.
So.
Okay.
So should we start from the bottom here? And you want to like rank from our worst going to the best?
Okay. I will start. I think the worst here. Whoa, this is. I mean, to be honest, I don't know.
I'll pick my worst, and I'll pick it pretty confidently. I think the worst one here is probably going to be mining operations.
Really? This is 2 steel production and 4 steel or 5 steel? I don't. To be honest, I have seen this pretty rarely. 4 steel. Okay.
I just find this to be quite underwhelming, especially compared to a lot of the ones on this list.
Yeah, I think that the thing is that mining operations, I think it's still a really good prelude, but we have so many top tier preludes here in this list that it has difficulties.
It turns out econ is pretty good. Filter says Galilean mining is the worst. Highlander says huge asteroid. Well, I mean, why don't we compare these two since they're here, and right?
The problem about huge asteroid is that it's situational, and if you are an ecoline tempo gamer, then you definitely want huge asteroid, and you don't want mining operations.
Mm-hmm.
Also, considering Galilean mining, I think Galilean mining has its value. If you are Saturn systems, okay, kind of obvious. But also if you are, I mean, let's take your last game. You are director, and your opening hand is kind of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Galilean mining is giving you 6 cash production and a Jovian tag, which is kind of fine. And this -5 is
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I think Galilean mining fits when your opening hand is not that good. When you're fine in skipping a gen.
Yeah, I mean it's 6 production.
Yeah.
The -5 can suck. I don't
Yeah.
I don't value the Jovian tag that highly, but yes, if you're Saturn or if you have a
Yeah.
Molt, maybe.
The problem is if you're picking it and you're not Saturn, you're always in the risk of giving somebody an easy cash production because
That's
Saturn
true.
might be out there.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why that's what I don't like. You pay 5 cash and you give someone cash production for this.
I think huge asteroid is just it's so strong because heat taking 3 bumps out of heat is a big deal
Yeah.
because heat is always
Yeah. Yeah.
last. And you get a heat prod. Let's not forget that. You always get a heat
Yeah.
prod no matter what.
I remember
So,
a game I played recently where I was equaline and I started off with huge asteroid into lava flows for 2 plants. And I already took 2 heat, both heat bonuses. I was already at -20 heat. And at generation 1, I already set aside, okay, this is going to be a quick game.
yeah,
Which
you
obviously,
really it gives you a ton of control. I think this is how my bottom 3 for now look,
yes. And
all
I
things
think the
considered.
next one is IO Research Outpost for me.
IO Research Outpost. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
this one's pretty tough for me.
Can you repeat?
This is difficult for me. I'm deciding which is worse between IO Research Outpost and Orbital Construction Yard. I I
Yeah,
think
the orbital.
I think I might value IO a little bit above Orbital because the card and the science tag are just so good.
Yeah, I mean,
The
uh,
problem with an
uh,
early influx of titanium is there aren't a lot of titanium cards that you want to play on Gen 1, right?
uh,
You want to play like asteroid mining, maybe Vesta, IO.
yeah.
You don't really want to play space events, so
Space elevator, maybe.
space elevator is
Yeah, but
definitely a good one.
mm,
Whereas being short on like a science tag, if you pull into any of the big payoffs, uh,
yeah, I get your point. I get your point definitely. And I mean, I admit that there are situations when you're checking your opening cards, you're skipping IO research outpost, and then you're seeing, oh, I have mass converter, or I have AI central, or I have antigraph, or something like this. Like, okay, I'm taking any cheap science tech I'm gonna get. So I think IO research outpost, it's doing a little bit of anything. It has a trove, it has a science tech, it has production, it has a card,
mm-hmm,
but it's not taking too much of. It's not going heavily in one direction.
mm-hmm.
So it's like an okay, flexible prelude, but it's for me not amazing. But I can see putting it over orbital. That's okay.
Okay. We're getting into some hard ones here. I think it's kind of close for me at number 3 here.
You mean number 4?
Yes, sorry, counting is not my strong suit.
Number
Yes, number
number 4
4.
is Allied Banks for me, pretty obviously.
Really? You're taking Allied
Yeah,
Banks 4? Hmm. That's
yeah.
interesting. I was between Metals Company and Business Empire for number 4.
Metals Company?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Metals Company is 6 cash production and no cost.
Yeah, I think my order was gonna look something like Metals Company, Business Empire, Allied Banks. I think this is my order. So let's we got to debate this out, I guess.
Uh, yeah. First of all, you gotta put Business Empire over Allied Banks. Because if you have Allied Banks and you play sponsors, then you have Business Empire. And you would always play sponsors Gen 1.
Well, let's think about this. Um, is that the difference here? I guess I guess you're not wrong. It's a difference of nine cash. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. and you pay 3 for the card and 6 for the sponsor, so that's 9 cash difference. The only thing you don't get is the Earth Tech, but well.
Yeah.
I mean, even a bribe committee, you're gonna play Gen 1.
Yeah. I mean, in like an 8th-generation game, Allied Banks gets you 35, and Business
Yeah.
gets you 42.
That's a 9th-generation game, but yeah.
Yeah. I think the reason I'm pretty biased against Business Empire is because the -6 can really hurt Tempo Corps, like Ecoline and UNMI, or
Yeah,
even just like
yeah.
low income corps. I totally, your point is very valid on sponsors.
I mean, towards UNMI, you often choose at least one TR prelude. So Gen 1 you don't need to worry about because you're just using the prelude TR.
Yeah. Okay.
But Allied Banks on place second, nah.
I think I'm willing to concede Business Empire over Allied Banks.
And why do you value the 4 cash production from Allied Banks more than the 6 cash production from Metals Company?
Well, it's more so the -6, right? Again, and maybe this is because I've been playing with like colonies and stuff, where you know, if you want to colonize early, that's expensive, and the -6 can hurt. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's obviously kind of close. I think we now have to figure out where. I think you're trying to rank Allied Banks below Metals Company. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, because it's two cash production difference. And
Yeah.
Metals Company is flexible because one steel production, one titanium production, this mostly doesn't hurt because you find ways to spend it.
Why? Oh, I have Earth Tag selected. It's not. Oh, I have Jovian selected. That's why. Yeah. It's very good. No tag is always a little sad to me, but the Earth tag, you know, it doesn't have nearly as much utility in this format as it does when other expansions are added, because I think there are 2 mults. There's Miranda and Cartel.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
And space hotels.
Space hotels. That's not a mult though.
Yeah, but you need to
a prereq. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, so you have the point Luna value.
Yeah, that's maybe that's.
I think we should not talk about Point Luna because this is just disgusting, anyways.
Yeah, Point Luna should be banned from the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then you agree with me as UNMI as number 1.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I get your point towards the -6 and Business Empire, but I think this is often it's often a bait because of the Gen 1 sponsor situation. You're always happy to have sponsors in your opener and to play it early. So
yeah, it's a totally reasonable point. I've probably just played too many tempo games. And then this is just so good. It kind of does everything. It works towards Terraformer. It gets you a card. It's got an Earth tag.
Yeah.
And
I mean, also the free TR are 3 victory points already.
Yeah, I mean, normally you don't want to be paying for your points early, but like over the course of if we go back to our math, we have an 8th-gen game. This card's gonna make you 8 times 7, or sorry, I'm sorry, 8 times 3 is 24 versus what did we say Empire was? 6 times 8 minus 6, so that's 42. So it's a difference of 15 cash over the course of the game, but you do get the points. It could help you for Terraforming.
And a card.
And the card, which is huge. Yeah.
Okay, so are there any more categories?
No, I think we did it.
Let's ask Chat. Maybe Chat thinks of a category we're missing.
Yeah, we can take requests if anyone wants to comment on any part of this list or talk about any. We could try to make a top 5 overall. You want to just rip out the categories and say on average what are your 5 best preludes?
What about top 3 and bottom 3?
Sure, we could go top 3 overall, bottom 3 overall. Bottom 3 overall is easy. Society support is hands down the worst prelude in the game.
Yeah, that is bottom 1.
Top 5 and bottom 5.
Yeah, I don't.
Um,
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah.
just looking through this list here. The next worst after, I mean, I'd probably say.
Wait, give me a second. I have. If I'm not overlooking something right now, I have 2 options.
Okay.
What option 1 should I say?
I'm kind of between.
Free option.
I'm kind of between a few here.
I think it has to be Mohole.
Really? You say Mohole?
Yeah.
I think I was gonna go nitrogen shipment, but it might be.
Yeah. Both kinda.
Also, what was the other one I was thinking of? Biosphere. And so you think your worst? This is the worst. You think Mohole's number 2?
I think we should list biofuels as well. The bottom 5.
Oh, biofuels. Yeah. Yeah, I think biofuels deserves a spot in the bottom 5.
Yeah, but 1 TR and 5 cache is not what you want from a prelude. This is just
into plant prod.
Nothing.
I do think.
Sorry, I was referring to chat.
No, I know. Gosh, nitrogen shipment. This is hard. Nitrogen shipment versus Mohole. It's like you didn't even have a Prelude, says Highlander.
Yeah. I kind of agree to you.
That's so funny. Sponsor would be your pick. You mean eccentric? It's not I don't think that's that hot of a take. I think yeah, this is why it's so hard, right? It's a high roll prelude. Like if you hit like one of the Jovians with it, it's great.
Yeah.
If you hit what's it called? Space elevator with it, it's great.
Yeah.
Or
I kind of disagree with your filter. I think, but to be honest, the problem with eccentric sponsor is that I kind of happen to never get this prelude. So I think in all my previous games, I maybe had it once or twice, maybe. Yeah. And you remember the game? I think it was you, Hodge, when you did eccentric sponsor into alloys. Was this you?
No, I didn't do that. I think that was Thread. That is the.
I just remember it was because
thing.
the starting hand was so garbage that he went Biolab and eccentric sponsor and gambled on. It was Hodge. And,
no, it was Thread. It was Thread, not me.
It was Fred. I mean, I freed Fred. Yeah. And to be honest, I suggested this line as a joke. I said, okay, you can go Biolab, pick up 3 cards, and find something for eccentric sponsor. And he didn't find anything, and he had to use it on alloys. Yeah, it was Fred.
God,
but he still won the game. He still won the game. So eccentric sponsor must be a good prelude.
I think that's more a function of Advanced Alloys being a top 5 card, but sure, we'll give the credit to eccentric sponsor.
Yeah. Okay. I think the bottom 5 overall to get a ranking there is really, really difficult. I think I like Biosphere support because it has its value giving you 2 plant production. If you're like, okay, I don't need cash, I don't have good cards, I need plants, then I don't mind too much about this -1 like others do.
Yeah.
And I think nitrogen shipment just doesn't do anything. This is why I don't like this prelude.
I still think Biosphere is yeah, it's a little bit better because of the tag. And it's if you're picking Biosphere support, you better be going all in which can be
Yeah.
fun. I've done it before. It just get like 6 plant prod on Gen 1. It's stressful, but it's fun.
What is the maximum plant production that you can get? Okay, I think it is after. It's 2 from Ecoline. It's 1 from Eco Experts. It's 3 from kelp farming. That makes it 6, and biosphere support 8.
Trees would be better than kelp farming because it costs 4 less.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
you might
well,
so you could
yeah.
maybe. Oh, you're saying just from Preludes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think kelp farming is still better than trees.
Yeah, no, kelp farming is the best target for it. I was just thinking of if
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
spending your money.
No. The best target is not being Ecoline and hitting birds on Ecoline.
Yes, of course. You should Druin. It's these production ones are very difficult to rank.
Yeah.
But you want to try to put top 5 overall onto the list?
I mean, you could make a case for Galilean mining being worse than mining operations, but let's go to the top 5. Okay,
well,
top 5 overall.
This one's clearly
UNMI
going on there.
contractor. I think UNMI contractor should be there.
I am going to put one of my personal favorites on there.
Okay, so if Allied Banks.
Is that what it's called, or is it called Research Coordination? I forget. Research Network, yeah.
The Valtech. Yeah.
I love this Prelude.
Okay, so it's my call again.
Yeah, you want to throw one on here?
Metals Company.
Metals Company? Okay.
Yeah.
Above Business Network. Wait, so you rank Metals Company above Business Empire?
Actually, I mean, I've conceded business. You don't like Metals Company, I know, but 6 production for minus nothing is just really, really good, I think.
It is. I just love having money. I think money is Metals Company is a bit more high risk, high reward. Like high reward for alloys for miner, and if you hit your targets, but if you don't hit your targets, also you could get like consortiumed by either, or play consortium if you have them. So so yeah, I don't know. This is it's just more volatile than Business Empire.
Okay.
I think I don't know. I think in a vacuum I would take Empire over it.
Okay. So if you cut, I think there are other. I mean, Aquifer Turbines is also so strong.
I was gonna say that's probably my number 5.
Yeah. Okay. Do we miss something here? I think I'm fine with those 5.
In this order? We're getting some spicy takes from chat here. Filter really likes Network as a clear number 1 in 2-player.
Yeah, I mean, if you're only going 2-player, I can see that UNMI Contractor is not a number 1.
Yeah.
I think in 2-player, I agree with you.
If we're playing 2-player, then these are definitely the top 3, I'm thinking.
I think this take is for 3 players. Huh?
Yeah, we're assuming 3-player.
Yeah.
I still just love this card. The wild tag is so big. Drawing 3 cards, so big, and you get 1 MC prod. Like I just love pairing Research Network with one other production Prelude. That's what makes me happy. That's what makes me go to bed easy. Like if I could start every game with these 2 Preludes, I'd be pretty happy.
I mean, Research Network and Metals Company, Research Network and Business Empire. This is just cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The wild tag is nuts. I agree.
I don't know. It seems like a pretty good list to me, all things considered. Just highlights how good power is, and of course the double card spot. Aquifer Turbines definitely loses a little bit of value if you're not going first, because someone could like grade Aquifer you or Polar Industries.
Yeah.
But when you get full value from this thing and you can use that power, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think we're at like 45 minutes. Pretty good video length. Anything else you want to talk about? Chat, anything else you guys want to see?
I mean, there's one more category we could add.
Yeah.
Building tags.
Building tags.
But I'm not sure if this is a viable category because they're so different. Probably not.
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place.
Yeah. I mean,
But you know
Polar
what? You know what?
Industries
Screw
as
it.
a
I
building
think I
tag.
think I could rank these very quickly. Ready? Building. I'll give you my take. Let's see if you agree.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Number one is
You're
uh
doing your rank and then you're. Oh.
you there? You cut out for a sec.
Um. Yeah. For some reason, the camera stopped working.
Can you Oh, yep. He's cycling it. Power cycle it.
I don't know why. Because I didn't press anything. I just got my. Hmm. Hmm. Do we need to restart the call?
Sure.
Okay.
Pardon the technical difficulties. There you go. We're back.
Okay. Cool.
Okay,
Okay.
I did my ranking and I did
Smelting
it very quickly.
industry, self-sufficient. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm not sure about two things.
Mm-hmm.
First, do I really think that Martian Industries is better than self-sufficient settlement? Because the steel production and the cash production are the same. So basically, we are trading an energy and 6 cash to a city tile.
And an energy, and that's 17 worth of cash. Whereas yes, a city costs 25, but cities are usually pretty garbage early. And
Yeah,
power is more likely to be
yeah,
useful.
I get your thinking. Yeah, I think I agree. Okay, and the second thing that is moral excavation compared to early settlement. But early settlement is just this one plant production. It's just not enough to
Yeah.
justify a
Not.
city
Yeah.
because often you're placing the city for two plants. You have one plant production. You wait 2 chains and someone plays big asteroid and that's it. Something like this.
So we
Or a
got some.
virus.
We got some chat comments. Druin says SSS lower than Dome.
So
Mm,
one plant production compared to a city tile.
yeah, that's interesting. I think.
I think
I
I
think
like
this.
the city tile
Yeah,
more.
I think I like the city tile over one plant prod. But maybe the argument is based on the tag because of like how good NRA is.
Yeah, but at least the city tile can block the plant spot as well. Something like
Yeah.
this.
Dome is really good for the tags. It is a fantastic robo target. I agree. Um,
Yeah, but you need to pick one card out of a 140 card deck.
well, two
Or
if you count insects. Robo. It's Robo.
yeah,
Well, Builder doesn't count because they both have a building tag.
yeah, yeah,
Habs, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas an early city gets you what, like 2 plants usually and maybe a target for mining area.
Polar is the ocean. That's the reasoning. 2 card draw.
Yeah, basically because you're getting 2 cards from it. I mean, Polar is like
Mm,
two cards and a cash production and 2 heat production. Do we think that's better
yeah,
than most of this stuff? It's
it's
not.
not
It's
very
not
bad.
great. It's really just a testament to how good drawing 2 cards is from the
Yeah,
ocean.
yeah. Considering we get the cards.
Wait,
Oh,
we had another comment. Smelting versus mining ops.
okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I can see that mining operations gives you more production, but as well, considering free player, these two TR, it's also a bit more flexible than the steel, because you already get 4 steel and you get 2 steel production, so you need enough steel targets. Okay, you're probably gonna have them. I mean, it's a tough call. I just think in 3 players, early TR is kind of useful because it pushes you towards a small lead at the start, which makes the others playing from behind really. I agree with the note to Polar Industries, and I also see that these are kind of hard to compare because they do different things.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you talked a bit about flexibility. Yeah, it's 2 prod less, but it's overall cash versus just steel. So for that reason,
also mining operations is obviously a great robo target if you have it.
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's definitely a much better robo target.
Yeah.
Yeah, Highlander. I mean, look, Polar Industries drops significantly if you're not going first.
Yeah.
Significantly. So maybe that alone
Yeah.
is worth moving it below
Yeah.
some of these other ones.
Yeah, I can see this. Yeah.
Move it like all the way down here, maybe.
I think it's not worse than self-sufficient
And
settlement.
go above SSS. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just comparing so different things. So it's hard to tell.
Anything else you want to cover here as we look at the tags or as we look at the prelude list? Let's reset everything. Hit preludes.
I think that's kind of it.
There's only 2 microbe preludes. We kind of covered plant prod. Only 2 science preludes. 1 space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Yeah,
We finally did it, Q, like a year later, however long it's been. Thanks for the illuminating conversation. I'll scroll down through the lists one final time here, slowly, for anyone to see. But yeah, this is kind of what we ended up with.
I think what we also could do as a video is the meta of Terraforming Mars and how it was shifting.
The meta.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think we went from cache production meta to science development meta to a mix of science, cache, and tempo meta right now.
And that's the way it should be, right? Because if there were a truly dominant archetype, it wouldn't be a good game. Because then it would just be like, oh, everyone like plays science and wins. Whereas you kind of have to know when to play a tempo game and how to play a tempo game versus engine building, etc.
Yeah.
Druin asks, do you think there's diminishing returns to each archetype? Like, would you take some of the less good card draw instead of 2 production preludes? Yeah, I don't know. I think so. I like being flexible. So that's why I was saying, like, if I could start every game with these 2 preludes, I probably happily would. Though I will say, having these 2 only provide 4 production, and I think I would call an above average prelude start is when you're getting like 10 prod or more. So like
this is Empire Metals Company plus 12.
Yeah. And again, it's just like really hard. That's what it's so hard about doing this video. Sometimes you have a hand where you want to keep everything and you want to play everything very quickly, in which case you want a crap ton of production. And sometimes you just have like all speculation or targets and you need to draw more. So
I totally agree. Also, there are some opening hands where you desperately need donation because you're like IC with alloys and you want to keep 9 cards and then you're left with free money.
Yeah.
So you want to, and you have something like Business Empire, and then if we go donation, okay, cool, I can go donation, then I can go Business Empire, I can still play my alloys and drop all my building tax Gen 1. Or if you are a mining guild and you're desperately looking for cash.
Yeah. What's your like optimal Terraforming Mars start? Like you don't have to pick the whole hand because that's hard, but like give me a general like what kind of game are you wanting to play?
Point Luna.
Okay, Point Luna is not allowed. No Point Luna, no Viator, no Valley Trust.
No Valley Trust. Oh, that's kind of sad. Uh, I think Paul. I mean, it's tempting to call Saturn Systems then and having some Joves,
Saturn Big Joe
but
start. Okay.
yeah, but I think I also get Filter's point. Mm.
I also I kind of like eco experts kelp farming. That's always fun.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I like just purely for the sake of memes, Inventrix with Research Network Biolab. Start the game with +9 cards. That's like pretty fun.
And then only pick up like underground detonations and stuff.
Of course. I like
Uh,
um
I also think that what's really funny is eco experts into livestock.
eco experts
Gen
into
1
lives.
animals.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
Do you think so?
I do think so. I've played against it many times. It never wins.
It eco experts into livestock.
It's got the same problem as security fleet, right? Like you're
No, security fleet eats up free cash
yeah, no,
production every gen,
that's
and the
true
livestock gives you 2 cash production
at the
every
cost of
gen.
at the cost of your plant prod though. So you're
Yeah,
really
but early plant production is like
yeah, you're spending a prelude. You're spending an entire prelude in 16 cash to be able to score 1 per turn. When if you look at the scoring graph in most
and
games, it's
2
like
cash
slow, slow,
production.
slow spike at the end. But yeah, and 2 cash production.
Yeah.
Aspirin says
Uh,
Helion
oh
with
yeah,
sponsors Soletta. Yeah,
yeah.
that's absurdly fun.
Gen 1 Soletta Helion is so much more likely with the preludes.
I'm happy with. I love you. All know how much I love UNMI. I think they're so much better with
Yeah,
preludes because
yeah,
there's so many good terraforming preludes. It's just
yeah,
easier to
yeah,
get your
yeah,
situation going earlier.
yeah.
What's the best robo target with preludes? I guess we said mining ops, maybe.
Exca yeah, yeah. Mining operations and then more excavation probably.
Yeah,
And dome farming.
yeah, dome farming.
Those
Yeah,
3. Kind of situational, I think.
what it we could probably contrive like the perfect Point Luna start, but that wouldn't be.
Yeah, yeah, that's
There's just
just
so many
ridiculous.
absurdly strong Earth tags that like you just pick like any of them. Oh, it's not letting me filter by that. Well, anyway, I think we did it, Q. We're coming in at about
Yeah,
an hour
that's
here. That was a fun talk. Hope people enjoyed it,
yeah.
and thanks to all the chat
So,
comments as well.
and stay tuned for our next strategy video.
Yeah, we'll have to think about what that will be.
Presented by Q and his apprentice hodgepodge.
Exactly. All right. Take care, Q. Good times.
Ciao, goodbye.